So, you're watching this video, you're probably like, man, I always wanted to make gold in Guild Wars 2, buy my skins, buy my legendaries, craft my legendaries, buying, it's essentially transforming gold into gem stores so I can get mount skins and stuff like this, convenience, all these things. How do I do it? How do you get so much gold, Darren? How do you do it? How does everyone do it? And why can I not do it? There's a big misconception about how people make gold in Guild Wars 2. I think a lot of people see people who have a lot of gold and they're like, oh, well, that person probably, just they play the game a lot, or essentially they flip the market, and that's how they make a lot of gold with no effort or whatever. No, that's not. There's no secret here. Well, kind of, okay? It's honestly, the biggest thing is to understand that a lot of the gold is not going to be liquid gold. This number here, 2,331, I did not get it by just playing the game and just seeing this gold and just come up forever, right? What I did do, though, and this is something that some people are not going to like, is essentially transform materials that are not sellable, like spirit shards, like research notes, like imperial favors, like karma, into things that are sellable. So the way you actually make gold in this game is essentially transforming currencies and materials that are not sellable into sellable things, right? So essentially you transform something like karma, spirit shards, imperial favors into other items, right? Into items that you can actually sell. Because guess what? If I were to bet, guys, you guys have a lot of spirit shards. You guys probably have a lot of imperial favors too. And you never use them because you don't know how, or you're too late, or you just don't want to do it, right? That's completely fine as well, right? But you know what? There's a lot of gold inside of those things, right? Each spirit shard, honestly, is around 1 gold, which is a lot of gold. Look at that. It's 137 gold just sitting there. And you probably have like even more, okay? And of course, it will take time into crafting and selling, but the gold is there, okay? I started with like 10,000 at the start of UD. Look at me now. I'm actually farming for spirit shards because I need them. And just slowly I started selling them, transforming them into precursors from Gen 3s, transforming them into other materials, transforming into Generation 3 legendaries, and now look at me. I've sold most of them. It took a while, right, for sure, but I had fun with it, okay? I played the game, I was doing other things, I was crafting in the middle, I went to get a sandwich, I left things being crafted in a while, buying things in trading post, like materials to make these big items to sell, right? Of course. And I enjoy it, and you don't have to enjoy it, but that's how most people actually get gold. Because if you're gonna just go in there and just sell items that you get from the game, you will definitely make a bunch of gold, but you'll get exponentially more gold by crafting things, right? Because each time you just have to think about this, guys. Even mithril ore, transforming mithril ore into mithril ingots already gives you a profit, because you essentially have to make a thing. You have to waste a bit of time to craft this into this that people will pay for, right? And if you do this exponentially by doing a big item like a precursor or a legendary or whatever, people pay way more. That's why the profit comes from, right? Whenever you see something like, for example, whenever you go to Guild Wars 2 efficiency and you see the profit of a legendary, right? Let me just go, can I just go check here? When I go into Guild Wars 2 efficiency for a legendary, let's put arena weight, right? Or whatever. And can it load a game, please? Wow. There we go. Arena, whatever, arguments. That's fine too. When you come to arena arguments and you check how it's made and how much profit you get from it, it'll tell you, look at that. Profit, well, sell price, buy price, that's instant sell, but sell price, 616 gold. Where does that come from? That comes from time, right? That comes from time. That comes from, and of course, it comes from items that are not sellable, right? That they do not have a value, a gold value to them. For example, like 200 spirit shards. 200 spirit shards are essentially there's 200 spirit shards essentially are inside of this profit, right? The gift of Cantha from the map completion, that's 600 gold here as well, right? The spirit shard from the dragon argument, you can see them as there's 50 spirit shards here as well, right? But essentially all this time, all these currencies, of course, the imperial favors, the blessings of the Jet Empress, right? 2,500 imperial favors, they're also hidden inside of this profit. And that's how you make the gold. Essentially, these materials that are essentially you cannot sell to anyone, you sell them by crafting this item and this is where the profit comes from. And this is how you make a lot of gold in this game, right? Because by playing the game, you'll get a lot of these materials. Like, you never use them in anything, or you can you sell them to other people, and not wasting those materials is what makes the most gold. Because most people don't want to craft, right? And therefore, you providing this service for the people, essentially giving your Imperial, giving your time into that, will essentially make you a lot of gold. And that's how essentially I make my gold. I essentially make the M3s. I transform all these materials, all these currencies into gold, and I make a lot of gold. Like you can see, I do honestly, I do a lot of giveaways as well in my stream, and I still have a lot of gold all the time, right? Because I make like 1 legendary a week. Well, I do play the game a lot, to be honest, but even if you don't do that, you know, legendary a week, you'll get a lot of gold anyways. Okay, I'm also going for like getting every skin in the game. You know, I do need the gold, right? But I'm not a baron. I'm not playing with a trading post, right? I'm not doing like, oh, checking what's best, you know, investing into an item, whatever. No, of course not. What I'm doing is just playing the game. I just see an item that people want, that is legendaries, and I think everybody knows people want legendaries, right? I think it's not a secret, right? I go in there, I make it, I sell it, I make gold. Boom. And it's repeated and repeated forever, right? And of course, there's other things like that, like Volatile Magic, right? That you can essentially transform into trophy shipments for make more gold, or you can also transform Eternal Ice Shards into Living War Season 4 you know, currencies that you can transform into Volatile Magic, of course, right? And you're also transforming some karma into gold, essentially. There's an insane amount of things that you can essentially make it. You essentially can make to transform a lot of, you know, a lot of materials that are not usable into things that are usable and sellable. Okay, so honestly, it's a bit of a that is honestly the secret, right? But it's not as much as a secret as a mindset, right? Of a way of understanding how the game kind of works and how it wants you to engage with it to make gold, right? And I think knowing this, essentially starting to look at the game this way, instead of like, oh, I'm not getting gold because, well, my big number on the bottom is not going up. Going and checking which materials you can sell or transform into other things to actually make gold is the best way, in my opinion, to understand the game, and of course to start, you know, getting some income in. And of course, you can check this and which every material and how to transform it into in the Fast Community website, in Guild Wars 2 efficiency as well, right? You can go here, you can check for karma, spirit shards, all of these things, right? And I have some guides in the bottom. I'll put some guides on this on the description on how to make this, you know, things actually. And I have a lot of guides on how to transform spirit shards and Imperial favors into gold as well. So if you have any questions, of course, you can always comment down below and tell me. But there you go. Tell me what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, and you can, you know, come to the MetaTrain and gain all of these beautiful currencies to make a lot of gold. And see you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.